What is up, y'all? And welcome back to episode 38 of That's No Moon Pod. Gonna have a little bit of a throwback episode, kind of where this channel all started with. The first ever video I uploaded was my Andor Season 1 review. You can go check that out if you want. If you've seen Andor, highly recommend the show. If you like a little bit more, or I'd say a lot of more serious side of Star Wars with not very much action, but cool kind of behind the scenes story of how the rebellion began and got into the process of eventually stealing the plans for the Death Star and all that, which season 2 is supposed to get into and lead right into Rogue One. So if you've never seen Andor, I recommend it. It wasn't my favorite out of the Disney Plus Star Wars TV shows, but I'd say it was definitely one of the most well done out of all the series, that's for sure. But if you haven't seen or haven't heard the news of the brand new Ahsoka trailer that just dropped yesterday while I'm recording this, it is July 12th, and this video will be going up the same day. But yesterday, July 11th, they dropped the new Ahsoka trailer, which I didn't think they would show as much as they did in this trailer. But to be honest, I think they showed the perfect amount of cool lightsaber battles, space battles. The trailer had everything that, if you're a prequel fan, if you're a Clone Wars fan, if you're a Rebels fan, Heir of the Empire, throwing out Heir of the Empire right away of the trailer, seeing Thrawn up close, face, it's, you know, I'll get into a little bit of that, I guess. I'll give my quick little thoughts and overall reaction to the trailer because I just rewatched it literally probably 30 seconds before I hit record on this. So the trailer is still fresh in my mind. Um, but this is probably the second time I've watched it now, but it blew me away just now when I watched it again. It got me more hype. One more month, y'all. August 23rd, 2 episode premiere. That's gonna be a it's gonna be a tough day to get both episodes knocked out at the same time, but hopefully, and from what Disney has been doing lately with their TV shows for some reason, they'll probably be no longer than 40 minutes each episode, probably, I'm guessing. But who knows? I don't know. Filoni could have came out and said that no, each episode is over an hour long. So we could be getting pretty much a little full 2 hour movie of Ahsoka Part 1 right off the bat on August 23rd. But my favorite parts of the trailer, definitely, like I said, with the lightsaber battles, that's something that I don't care what anyone says. Star Wars lives and dies by the saber and the force. I loved Andor, don't get me wrong, and I don't think Andor needed the force or lightsabers or anything like that in the show, but I do think it could have had a little bit more action scenes, maybe, but that's neither here nor there. I'm not, forget about Andor. Ahsoka, just the way she's handling herself in the trailer with when she comes across Ray Stevenson, R.I.P., and he tells her, Anakin, spoke highly of you, just kind of trying to get under her skin and throw jabs at her, playing mind games, and just the scenery has like that same tone that those episodes from Book of Boba and Mando from when Ahsoka pops in and has that fight with that chick with the metal staff or whatever. Just the way the scenes are shot, the lightsaber battles look way better than what we got in Obi-Wan, and just the scale and the overall look of the show feels like movie quality Game of Thrones type epicness, you know? Something that has been missing and has been kind of teased with trailers that we've gotten with past TV shows, but they could always spice up a trailer the way they want and make a show seem a certain way than it is, but when you actually watch it, it turns out not to be anything like the trailer. But even though this trailer gave away a lot, it didn't give a whole lot of story away. That's the main thing. It didn't show you Thrawn having crazy scenes with someone, or it just showed you his face, let you know what he's looking like, gave who's gonna be the people that Ahsoka's gonna be having to be dealing with, and having Hera and Sabine, Ezra. Like I said, if you're a Rebels fan, this is what we've all been waiting for. But at the same time, just if you're a Star Wars fan in general, this is the show I think that we've been waiting for, and kind of what we're hoping that Mando season 3 was going to kind of fill that void to begin with, but it didn't really hit the same as we thought. But I think Ahsoka, this show is going to be the one that is going to hit for sure. It has to, right? I mean, come on. But who knows? Um, but I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. I think, especially Dave Filoni, I know he knows his stuff when it comes to not only just Star Wars in general, but with each character that's in this show. Even if they're new, brand new characters that we've never heard of, I guarantee that he went into every single thought that counted when it people would just overlook certain things about a character in a show or a movie, but Dave Filoni, I guarantee you, went into detail with each character and their backstory, and he's gonna give memorable characters, new characters. I bet that we're gonna want to learn more about after the show's done. Um, the talent behind it just got me excited. Um, I've kind of been on more of a Star Wars kick lately, especially just after watching the trailer. But I've been reading some good Star Wars comic books lately. Um, the latest Yoda run by Marvel. If you haven't been reading comic books lately, the latest issues, I believe episode or issue 5 to episode 8 are just all bangers from Yoda, and it has him and Anakin during the Clone Wars era going on missions together, and Anakin's having to save Yoda, but Yoda's still obviously teaching the lessons throughout. And he's talking to Obi-Wan Force Ghost, and he's sensing him right as soon as he died, and he's feeling like obviously he let down the galaxy because he had a chance to take down Palpatine um, during Revenge of the Sith, but he failed to do so, and he's dealing with the weight of the whole galaxy falling. And it's just a cool insight of Yoda that you don't get from anything else, because we haven't seen any extra scenes like that from Yoda besides obviously comic books or just graphic novels or just regular books in general. But it's cool because I think not only with this Ahsoka trailer, because it's trending big time, they just dropped all the Emmy nominations for Andor and Mandalorian and even Obi-Wan um, got some Emmy nominations as well. So it's like they're feeling pretty good right now and they're getting all the good vibes, the good news out. And they dropped the trailer at the perfect time for those Emmy nominations to drop, all strategic. Um, so they're kind of getting some momentum, I guess, in Star Wars. Uh, my buddy was asking me just recently. He was like, "Dude, when they're gonna come out with a new movie? Like, when's the new next movie coming out?" And I'm just like, "Dude, they've said, but who knows? Especially with the whole writer strike going on right now. Um, I think a movie is the least of our worries right now. I think with what's been going on with Lucasfilm, especially after the recent Indiana Jones box office flop, um, movie cost over 300 mil or something to make, and it's not going to make anywhere near that. Um, all these movies are flopping in the box office, but obviously Lucasfilm, and we all know who is in charge of Lucasfilm and how their track record hasn't been so good with the fans and the consistency with the products of the TV shows and movies, box office wise, besides Solo, they're hitters. But we all know how divided the sequel trilogy is amongst fans and just how the fandom in general nowadays is really divided, probably more divided as it's ever been, which is crazy to even think if you've grown up in the early 2000s. Um, you remember how crazy the prequel hate was. And for me, being a little kid during the time, I never understood it because I was old enough, being born in 95. I grew up with the special edition VHS tapes of the original trilogy. So my favorite Star Wars movie is A New Hope. It's always been my favorite Star Wars movie, and it was the first one I ever saw. And when The Phantom Menace came out in '99, I was like 5 years old, so I was like perfect age for me to go see in the movies. I saw Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, Revenge of the Sith, all in theaters. Played all the video games. All those movies were on repeat. Um, those are my jam. The prequels and the original trilogy were my jam before the prequels came out. But even still, through all that, to this day, A New Hope is still my favorite movie. Um, but that being said, I remember the hate the prequels used to get, and I never understood it because I was a little kid. And then growing up, since I grew up loving the movies, I never, even to this day, could understand the hate. Yeah, Jar Jar was annoying, obviously, and there were some weird dialogue scenes that Anakin and Padme may have had, but you know, forget about it. It's like you're really watching this movie for that, you know? It's supposed to be corny and cheesy in a way. It's a fantasy, it's a space opera, whatever you want to call it. It's supposed to, if you watch all those scenes with your girl and she's never seen Star Wars, I guarantee you those will be her favorite scenes with Padme and Anakin. Um, but yeah, I I love the prequels. I love the original trilogy. I don't love the sequel trilogy though. I like a lot of the characters and there's some cool scenes in the movies in general. Kylo Ren definitely the best part. Um, Ray, I like Ray as a character. If I'm being honest, yeah, I do think that she was OP way too quick, but that's not Daisy Ridley's fault. It's not the character Ray's fault. It's these fools in suits' fault. And I think Ray could have been one of the coolest Jedi characters that we've gotten, especially in live action. Um, they just did everyone dirty. Finn, John Boyega, incredible actor, could have been one of the coolest Star Wars characters of all time. And I'm not just saying that. A stormtrooper who goes rogue, but has a strong connection to the Force and eventually becomes a worthy Jedi, being trained by Rey, and them two kind of protecting the galaxy together. Not saying as a couple, but just as a master and apprentice type of deal. He could even wear some of his stormtrooper like armor on his. I'm just going into what could have been, right? Obviously, this is just kind of turned into a Star Wars rant, which I kind of hoped it would, because Star Wars is one of those things I could talk about forever, like aliens, UFOs, comic books, Marvel stuff. Um, I could talk about sports for a while, but I get bored about talking about sports after a while, to be honest. But Star Wars is always something I could just talk about forever because there's so much more potential that we haven't gotten yet when it comes to these movies and just live action in general. And it's crazy because I've been playing Jedi Fallen Order, or Jedi Survivor. Which one is it? Jedi Survivor series, right? Okay, follow me on Twitch, y'all. I've been streaming Jedi Survivor. I got Jedi Survivor series on my Twitch, and I've been chopping up clips from uh my gameplay and making Instagram reels and TikToks. So if you're into gaming, go follow me on Twitch. But I need y'all to go follow me on TikTok and IG at Admire My Moon Pie on TikTok, and IG is at Admire My Moonsalt. I've been posting my Jedi Survivor um, chopped up and edited real TikTok videos on there with um, music, and I kind of edited them in a way I think is cool. So go show me love on my socials. Um, but yeah, I just been on this whole Star Wars kick, like I said, with Jedi Survivor and the story with Cal Kestis and um, just the whole story of a Jedi that escaped Order 66 and is on the run and dealing with all this craziness that we don't get to see happen before New Hope. But all this crazy stuff is going on in the story, and the characters are just so well done. And for some reason, these suits that produce these live action series and movies for us in Star Wars can't do a better job than what these amazing storytellers and artists who make these video games, Jedi Survivor and Jedi Fallen Order. These stories are crazy. They're crazy good. And I just got to the part, if you haven't played Jedi Survivor, little spoiler right here, but um I just got to the part where Darth Vader comes in. Obviously, Vader's gonna be in the video game. I haven't beat the game yet, so don't spoil the game for me in the comments. But um, I just got to the part where Vader comes in, and I chopped up and edited the clips and put it on my TikTok and IG and put some music on it. And this scene during this part where we see him in Jedi Survivor, right after Order 66, this is still prime Vader, you know? And when I think of Darth Vader, um, like fighting in a lightsaber duel where he's actually fighting, trying to kill the person that he's fighting in a lightsaber duel. He's not just, toying with the person, kind of just seeing what they have and kind of buying time or something. When I think of Darth Vader, prime Darth Vader, Anakin, um, I think of just some crazy screamo, hardcore breakdown music. Um, and that's kind of what I did with my TikTok and my reels, with the Darth Vader fight scenes. And that was easily the coolest part of the video game, without a doubt. Anytime Vader shows up, you know it's going down. But like I said, I haven't beat the game yet, so I'm excited to see where the story goes from here and kind of closes out, because I know they're supposed to make a third, or at least having plans of making a third Jedi video game. But they need to do something live action, like what they're doing with the video game stories. Pick up one of these graphic novels from Legends or any of these new books that these authors have written with crazy good Star Wars stories, and just take those and implement them and make a movie or a TV show about them. Like, we keep saying this, y'all, right? You know this, I know this. And going back to the whole Indiana Jones flops and just the way Lucasfilm has been going recently, and hopefully some changes are made soon, because they keep pushing back these movie dates. They keep firing the directors, the writers, people that are supposed to be making these Star Wars projects keep leaving, getting fired, or backing out. And, where there's smoke, there's fire. And it can't be all on these creators. It has to be something within Lucasfilm. Something ain't right. And something needs to be changed, because, I mean, without Ahsoka, if they didn't have Ahsoka coming out, what would they have, honestly? The latest thing that came out for them was what? The Vision Season 2? So hopefully with this trailer it keeps the buzz going, which it will, leading into August. And once those 2 episodes drop for Ahsoka, it's on. The theories are gonna start coming in. What's gonna happen? Are they really gonna do the full on Heir of the Empire story, from the 80s? The accurate story of it? Or are they gonna kind of take bits and pieces from it and kind of implement new ways to, bring in either some High Republic character story or something regarding the sequel trilogy? Obviously they're gonna have to do that, right? But I think if they stick to the core story of Heir of the Empire, I think the potential for Ahsoka, like I said, is high to be one of the best, if not the best, Star Wars TV show we've gotten so far, and probably the best Star Wars project we've gotten since. I mean, that's up for you to decide, but I think I've ranted long enough about this, because if I go on long enough, thankfully I haven't been drinking too much, because um, I probably would have went in on some creators or something, or just the way the Star Wars fandom is in general. But I'm gonna try to keep it positive this vid. Um, I gotta shout out my socials again. I'm sorry. I just made a TikTok at admire my moon pie, which is the same as my Snapchat. And if you tuned in from the beginning of this vid, I was talking about the Yoda comic books that just came out. This newest run are on my Snapchat right now at Admire My Moon Pie, the full comic book, full pages. I got over 20, probably 30 comic books on my Snapchat right now. Full comic book for free. Just follow me on my Snapchat at Admire My Moon Pie, and my TikTok is the same. Um, but all my links will be in the description for sure. But thanks for tuning in, y'all. I really do appreciate it. I'm trying to grow this channel more and more each week. Not just on YouTube, but I'm trying to build it through, like I said, I got my TikTok going, I got my Snapchat going. I made a Threads too. I don't know if y'all hopped on Threads yet, but I'm on there too. Um, but yeah, all my links will be in the description, like I said. Hope y'all have a great rest of y'all's week. Y'all stay cool. It's hot outside. Y'all stay safe. And I'll catch y'all on the flip. Peace.